All right, welcome to the latest episode of The Last Resort with Chris and Joe. It is, what is today? It is the 25th of March. And I guess we have R2 in the room.
Yeah.
I'm Chris.
I'm Joe.
I'm Brandon.
What's up, Brandon?
Hey, Brandon.
First, before we get to Brandon. Yeah. What have you been up to, Joe?
I've been busy.
You've been busy. I know you keep telling me that, and I'm like, but with what? Because I don't see you do anything. And I don't mean that in a bad way.
You don't see me.
Yeah, that's the problem. I'm like, yeah.
Well, in my attempt to make my my Android programming class more difficult for me, I decided to try to make a graphing calculator.
What? You know, you can buy those, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And basically, I wanted to use this sort of programming technique called regular expressions that I was taking a class online about that, so that people could type in a math function and then it would graph it. That ended up taking a bit more time than I thought it was going to. And then over the weekend, my brother and his girlfriend were visiting from Washington, Seattle area.
Not the horrible girlfriend.
Not the horrible girlfriend, no.
The one that like left him on his deathbed
No,
and stuff.
and I was like, okay, so quick story on that. My brother got pneumonia several years ago, and his girlfriend at the time, like, he called her up. He was like, hey, I don't feel so good. And she was like, oh, well, I'm kind of packing. And this was like 3 a.m. She's like, oh, yeah, I'm kind of packing right now. I can't really deal with this. He's like, and so he just hung up and didn't want to talk to her again. And so like after they broke up and she was a coworker, like she would start coming up to him going like, hey, I see you talking to that other coworker there. I think that's very mean of you that you guys just flaunted in front of me.
Oh, she was cheating. She was totally cheating.
Yeah, she's.
You don't start pointing fingers unless you're doing something.
Yeah.
That bitch.
I kind of just forgot what I was doing. Oh well. Brandon, what have you been up to?
I have been. Let me see here. Yesterday, I was working on an Iron Man suit.
Oh, you've still been working on it.
Yeah, it's
parts.
a long process. Yeah, but and then a couple days before that, I was Spider-Man. For St. Patty's Day, I got to be Spider-Man for St. Patty's Day.
How do you drink through that mask?
You don't. Like, you have to drink before you go out.
Oh,
but I got to go jump on the bar and like squirt them with like green silly string everywhere, so that was a blast.
Oh, nice. And I know you had a greenish tinted Boba, right? Boba Fett?
Yeah. It's my friend Sean Shaw. He's a master of masks and whatnot. So, but he's part of the Mandalorians, and I was like, hey, can you Irish up your suit? And he's like, yeah.
Can I?
Yeah,
I already have one.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, there's quite a few people. Just to let people know, no one will see this in time, but tonight you're on an episode of Bones?
Bones.
Bones, yeah.
Bones. I am the victim that they're going and investigating. So they get to see a burned corpse version of me, which that was a trip to see, and then my photos up on their display board as they're trying to figure out my lifestyle.
Yeah, so if
check it out.
Yeah, so if you
me too, maybe.
Yeah.
Might actually watch that show.
I've always wanted to see you dead, Brandon.
Yeah, exactly.
Life after death.
Well, if you strike Brandon down, he only becomes stronger.
That's right.
That's true.
I never understood that.
No,
I'm not.
He doesn't
kidding.
He doesn't really, put his money where his mouth is on that.
I don't get it. He'll become stronger. How does he? Brandon, tell me how you become stronger if you're a Jai and get struck down.
Well, first of all, the metaphorical speech, because I want to get that tattooed on me. Think about it. Anytime someone puts you down, you can become stronger from it. That's what I live by. I'm like, fuck you. I'm going to kick your ass at anything you put me down. Okay, so that's our lifestyle. But what he was referring to is, if you strike him down, he's going to give himself to the Force, and once you've become one with the Force, you're more stronger than anybody could possibly imagine, because you're now, you're with it.
Gotcha.
What I mean? So, plus, on the same level, let's go into some more thought processes. If you've done this, it's going to catapult Luke into like what he needs to see. Like, he sees everything. It's all a master plan. If you give in to killing me, or do all this, then you've fallen right into my hands. I know what I'm doing. So,
gotcha.
Mm-hmm. That's my thought on it. I could
no,
be wrong,
that makes sense.
There's plenty of people that make excuses for writing all over the place, and that's where we're here.
Right. It's how we interpret it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It means so much. It's perfect.
Oh, did you hear that Lucas actually was planning on making a 7, 8, 9?
Yeah.
And he already had
outlines for them.
like it had already signed up, I guess, Mark Hamill and all them.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
back.
I heard that. Yeah,
and then like when he sold it, he had to call them and say like, "Hey, so just sold
everything." Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess he was planning on doing it. I'm just glad that his hands aren't on it anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's still the Imagineer, you know.
Yeah, so he can be the top. That's fine.
Right.
And at first, this whole idea of bringing back the original cast, I'm just like, I kind of want to remember them as, you know.
Well, I really want to see Mark Hamill.
Have you seen him lately?
Yeah, I've seen him, but I mean, it makes sense if the movie takes place like as many years as
no, I'm psyched about that too and everything.
Yeah.
I was just worried that they were going to bring Mark Hamill in and try to like CG him like they did Tron, and I'm
right.
like, dude, just don't.
No,
I'd love to see them older and paying cam. And you know what?
Yeah.
There was I think I saw an interview where George Lucas was saying that he asked Luke when they were like, I think it was on the set of Jedi. He's like, oh, so do you think you might want to come back like years down the line and play like an old Obi-Wan type character? He's like, when's that going to be, like 2015? Verbatim.
No way.
No joke. And I was just like, got chills. I'm like, wow, it's meant to be. Or it was either that or it was always planned. One of the two.
Yeah, 2015.
I mean?
Yeah. I am excited that they're going to go into the kids. You know, they're going to be the main characters now and everything, especially since right age for those kids, actor-wise. But it's exciting. It really is, and the writers and J.J. Abrams behind it. It should be pretty cool. I mean, to me, it made no sense to get a new script when you have like the Timothy Zahn trilogy of books. They were already tested and proven to be huge. So I was surprised they just didn't go that route. But I'm curious to see what happens.
Yeah,
but I mean, that was only 5 years later after Jedi, so that's probably why they're not doing that.
Yeah, well, but I mean, I'm looking forward to a lot of Star Wars stuff. I mean, I'm perfectly fine with Disney owning. Although, okay, so I actually had an issue with J.J. Abrams taking over Star Wars. Not because I don't think he will do a great job. I think he will. It's the fact that he has Star Trek and Star Wars. And to me, I'm like, that's a lot for one person in his hands. And I'm just like, man, can we get someone else? Because now you're splitting your time.
But I don't know, man. I wasn't. I mean, I like Next Generation Star Trek, but that new Star Trek movie was amazing.
Oh no,
so
I fucking loved it.
I mean, if he does that good of a job on Star Wars, I'll be psyched. Because I kept going through it, going like, God, why wasn't the prequels as good as this? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, there's still great things about the prequels, but that movie just blew the sci-fi movies out of the water for a while.
I watched it. This was probably a year ago now. I watched it, and I was just like, no, this fucking movie's awesome.
Yeah,
fucking love this movie.
Now here's the tidbit. Great. I was like up late and trying to find something on Netflix. This is before like they started getting good stuff on Netflix on streaming, and they had this documentary about Star Wars, but it was like a documentary that couldn't go and interview. It wasn't like a legit documentary. Like they didn't have licensing to put music or anything in it. Okay. But the one part they did, for some reason, they got all this clearance to do Star Trek interviews about like their take on it. And it turns out that everyone's like Star Trek versus Star Wars, and the deal is when the first season of Star Trek came out, it got canceled. It was completely canceled, right? And then Star Wars came out. And then sci-fi was just, bam, out the window. And then immediately the studio was like, we need to do a Star Trek movie immediately. And the first movie sucked. You know what I mean? Wrath of Khan was the only real good one. But they rushed everything, like, we need to get this show back on.
Hey, hold on. Don't you dare talk bad about A Voyage Home.
Is that the first one?
No, it's the fourth one. You just said second. The Wrath of Khan was the only good one, and I'm going like, "Fuck you."
I'm sorry. To start with, I apologize.
Okay, because I'm like, hey.
A lot of people are like, forget the first Star Trek movie. It's about Wrath of Khan. That's where it began.
She's pregnant.
So, but, oh god, the whale.
Yeah. How the hell do you know that? So Gracie told me.
But yeah, so it's because they were just saying because of Star Wars, Star Trek wouldn't be what it was, and that was from.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I can believe that.
Yeah, so that was an interesting tidbit. I'm like, well, yeah, I'll always have that argument.
Yeah, I like Star Trek better, and I believe that the technology in Star Trek, more technologies come true from Star Trek than necessary Star Wars. But I also do think that Star Wars came more from fantasy, where Star Trek was more oriented towards science, and more importantly is a world where no one gives a shit about where you came from or what your color you are.
Yeah,
and that's the main difference to me. Like we now have phones that are better than people's
Star Wars
tripods.
Is realistic. It's got racism.
Yeah, you're right.
What do you know?
Damn it.
But no, I watched a documentary about the reverse technology stuff about, the robotic hands and everything like that. One of the main engineers that came up with the robotic nerve endings connecting and everything, the guy that did it, he was a huge Star Wars fan. He's like, I kept thinking, I'm like, we could do this.
Yeah. There's stuff that's coming out of both.
So shut up, Chris.
They're just saying there's stuff that's coming out of both. I'm just saying there's more that's coming out of Star Trek. But keep in mind that I love both. So.
Yeah. All right.
Right.
I was about to leave this room. I'm like,
it's like, forget fuck you people. Don't ever ask me back. The new, that was us talking about the new Star Wars. Have you heard anything other than the fact that the 3 are back? I haven't heard anything.
That's it.
That's the other thing. I don't know how I'm going to feel about Carrie Fisher's voice.
Yeah. It's funny because I had some friends that worked on the Star Tours ride. And,
did you really?
Yeah, and they were like...
Wait, no. On the...
The new one, Star Tours.
Oh, worked on... It, like in making it, or actually just work on the ride?
Well, the whole thing, like the ride, the footage, they had Carrie Fisher come in to do a read. And,
really?
What's funny about Carrie Fisher? She's hilarious. I love that woman.
Yeah.
And she'll make fun of herself before anybody else does.
Right.
You know what I mean? She's like, I don't sound or look anything like I should. And
I've done so much coke.
Yeah, I love that woman to death.
Yeah.
But they brought her in, and they needed a young Leia for the hologram projection thing. And they were
Why you ruin this ride for me? I've not seen it yet. I haven't been on it.
Well, that's your fault. Get the hell to Disneyland,
Disneyland's
man.
so
Welcome to
freaking
Southern
expensive.
California. I know it is.
Yeah, it's horrendously expensive.
It's horrible. But But so they have a projection of Princess Leia, and they didn't use her voice. They had to get a voice double, even though they brought her in. So her voice is in a couple times, I think, while you're in line instead. They used her there, but definitely didn't. They had to get someone to sound more young, but
more like Leia.
Yeah, exactly.
The one that we all wanted to see in the bikini.
Well,
it's all in the bikini that we want to see out of the bikini.
Well, according to our directing teacher at LACC, Jack Nicholson's voice is rarely actually his.
Really?
Yeah, at least that's what he says. Is that they always get a voice double for him.
Huh. Really? I don't remember that.
Maybe that was one of the days you missed.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, he said that he always mumbles his lines, and so they always ADR him with somebody else.
A sound-alike person.
Yeah.
I want to talk about movies real quick.
Okay.
So we're going to talk about movies.
Just were, but all right.
Other movies.
What other movies?
I just saw the incredible Burt Wonderstone. That's the Steve Carell,
Jim Carrey.
Well, Jim Carrey, he's much lower on the bar of it. Has anyone seen it? Have you seen it, Brandon?
I have not. No.
I have not. Joe, you obviously didn't see
it.
It was good. It can wait till TV though. But I enjoyed it. They make fun of all the magicians. Like at one point, David Copperfield's in it for like a split second. But more than that is like Jim Carrey plays
Chris Angel type.
I'm forgetting what his name is in the show, but his show that he records for is called Brain Rape. It's called Brain Rape, and he just does. I mean, at one point he it's the stereotype of the extremes of musicians, and it's I liked it. I enjoyed it, and in my opinion, the end payoff is totally worth it. The price of admission, although again, you can see it on Netflix.
All right,
it's fine. The Walking Dead is almost done. Brian, do you watch The Walking Dead?
I saw season 1.
What the fuck?
I have a hard time committing to shows, and they took a long ass break, and I had a bunch of shows under my belt I was dealing with. But
do you watch Breaking Bad?
I have watched season 1 of that as well.
Okay, yeah, but I haven't watched any more than that.
I've watched season 1 of Dexter.
Hold on. How long did it take you to get in to finally from when someone told you to watch Doctor Who to when you actually started watching Doctor Who?
It was a good year.
Wow,
maybe.
that long.
Well, it's to me, I have OCD issues with like beginning, and I kept wanting to think I really would like to go from the beginning.
No,
like,
God, no.
And everyone said like, don't do that, and I was like, all right, well maybe I'll do the reload. But I was like, that's such a commitment, and I really want to get it from as far back as because I don't like missing stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, me too.
So I was like, my OCD just wouldn't let me commit to something so long. But then my mom actually sat down and watched one of the Matt Smith's Christmas episodes, which was The Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe, or the Doctor, or whatever, that one. And I was like, I loved his performance. I was like, dude, I love this guy. Like, I like how he is. And she's like, you don't need to watch like the show to know this one. This is kind of out of its own thing. You know what I mean? So I did.
The Christmas specials usually are.
Yeah, exactly. So when I watched it, I was just like, he's cool. All right. I got now I got to watch. So I just watched Matt Smith first.
Oh, really?
I wasn't gonna. Yeah, I was like, fuck it. I'm like, it's a time travel show. I need to throw this OCD thing out the window. And if I could deal with Star Wars bumping all over the damn place, I guess I could put everything together in a different way. So I watched Smith first, and then was like, all right, now I want to know more. So I went all the way back to the 2005.
Christopher Eccleston.
Yeah. So it was a cool way. I actually enjoyed. Everyone was like, don't watch it that way. Don't watch it. I'm like, to my knowledge, I'm the only one that has watched it that way, and I actually loved it that way because
I think it's fine. Anywhere you want to come in. I personally,
it's a time travel show. How can you not really appreciate watching it out of order? Personally, and then, and I really loved. I eventually fell in love with David Tennant more, to be honest.
So, really, man, I love Matt Smith,
and it was really. I do. They're completely different doctors, but if I had to be one, like, you know what I mean? I can't even. I'm sitting there trying to talk about the differences between the two, but they're good in their own entity. They really are two different types. But it was great to watch it that way because I like Tennant so much, and him like ending. Like, it was such a sad episode. Like
Shakespearean.
It was.
But you didn't find that over the top. I did, and I kept in mind that like I didn't know. I didn't.
Tough 5 days. No, just the fact that last line was like, I don't want to leave. Like, I don't want to go. Like, it was literally like someone who's dying, and it hit me. I was like, oh, that's
yeah. You know what? The whole time though I was sitting there going like, but you're gonna regenerate and remember everything. Like,
but
what the fuck is the problem?
You're not the same person.
You're not the same person. You're still dying.
Yeah.
And until then, I really didn't think of it that way. And he pitched it in that episode like I literally die. It's a completely different person. So it's almost like transferring your memories to a different person, but it's not you.
You're the same person, but you're not at the same time because basically it's different hardware, so everything feels different.
Yeah, exactly. And so technically, that made my last episode from the loop David Tennant's, and it was a perfect thing because I got to see Matt Smith like at the end, which I've never seen that scene before. So I was like, "There's Matt Smith." That's and then I go right into the very first episode.
Yeah, because I was trying to figure out. I was watching it and I missed that Christmas special, and I was trying to figure out like why I'm like, whoa, we switched doctors and there was no death. Like what the?
Yeah,
they're gonna go
Christmas
back.
Yeah.
And then
it was like Christmas over there.
That wasn't actually. That was just a special.
Yeah, because they did 4 specials with David Tennant after the season ended with him.
Yeah, and I only know the backstory of like the reason why that's so long is because I guess David Tennant didn't want to do it anymore.
Yeah, he actually he had a talk with one of the original doctors, like his favorite Doctor Who. And I can't remember which one it was. A buddy of mine who's a way bigger fan than me. He works at Universal as one of the statue guys, and he gave me this whole speech. He's like, yeah, he met this guy, and his favorite doctor, and he said, you got to get out, soon, because otherwise this is all you're going to be, you're not going to be able to get work anywhere else. And he had to go, and he's like, all right.
I think that's always a wrong opinion.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think part of the spirit of the show is to be able to move on.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I even though I love Matt Smith, I am kind of eagerly awaiting a new doctor now at this point.
I am
exactly.
as well.
It's coming to that point, like, who are they going to get now? You know? But I guarantee they're probably just going to roll with it until Matt Smith doesn't want to do it anymore, because trying to cast a doctor is probably a pain in the ass.
Oh, God, it's got to be.
You know what I mean? Because they're not going to like him right off the bat, no matter what.
High standards.
Yeah, exactly, every time. So
well, and I guess they keep a very, very tight lip on anything that's going on with that show. But I mean, I know that like David Tennant didn't want to do it anymore, which it's fine. I personally think any actor who says that I don't want to get typecast, I kind of look at him and go, wait, hold on, how much money are you making? So why don't you just take a year or two and do a whole bunch of indie flicks,
right,
and bring it back? Because
he's British and a good actor. He has nothing to worry about.
and that's why I go like, and that's why I'm like,
if he was gay, it'd be even worse.
Yeah, God.
He'd be so good.
Yeah. But then also, there were other people that had rebooted. That were at the reboot that were leaving the show as well.
Right.
So it was like almost everyone's send off. That was why I found out why it ended up being so big.
Yeah.
I
heard you guys heard it's the 50th coming up, and I keep hearing these rumors that because they've talked about this forever.
Oh yeah, bringing a whole bunch of doctors.
Yeah,
together.
all the doctors at one
I've
point.
not heard this.
I heard
they've done that before with the.
Have they?
There's one like a movie special that was made back in the 80s that was like called like 4 Doctors or something across those lines, where they brought like a few of the doctors together. I've never seen it.
Well, they're definitely probably. I just heard that it will be a movie It's like a full feature,
like
the
a full-on
50th anniversary,
feature,
which is basically 2 episodes.
Yeah,
like,
really.
Put them together in one long loop. Yeah, you know what
Or
I mean?
a Christmas special.
Yeah. So it's So they're talking about doing that. Are all the doctors alive? Like,
I don't think the
alive?
first one is.
Yeah, no, I think he's gone. Right?
I don't
Can't they
I don't
CG
even
him
know.
though? Like,
Yeah,
he should be the guy that brings them to the meeting. Like, he's on a projector screen or something.
Yeah, exactly.
That'd be cool.
I brought you here
Yeah, we need to talk.
to
Like,
kiss. You can kiss. Kiss each
out
other.
yourselves. Yes.
It's not gay.
Yeah, we're talking about Doctor Who because I don't know, for anyone that watches the video, me and Chris subconsciously knew.
We knew.
My shirt.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see it. It's
Mine's.
You've got.
Yeah, I got the silence.
You got the silence guys, and I've got Doctor Who's. Show your shirt, Chris. You're on. Wait, go back.
There you go.
There it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
And mine is Doctor Who's from the My Little Pony show.
And I got Darkwing Duck.
Yeah.
Darkwing Duck.
Yeah.
Let's get dangerous.
He's representing Disney.
Aren't we all? Don't they own everything?
Yeah, I know. Really.
Have you guys seen the My Little Pony show? By the way,
No, I've heard
it.
I've heard it's actually really good.
It's hilarious.
It's made by the Samurai Jack people, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think the Powerpuff Girls as
yeah.
well.
Mm-hmm.
As well. And
if you're an adult and you watch that show, you're called something, but I don't remember what it's called.
well, it's funny because these cartoon shows are really hilarious, and it's because they're our age and they're writing stuff we would like. And they have like a whole scene that's the Big Lebowski scene.
What?
No joke. They have the
What?
Jesus pony. They have Dr. Hooves is a real character at some point. I haven't run into him yet, but yeah. So I've been watching it with my daughter. She's my excuse to watch it.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, no. They have a whole scene where it's all
No
the Big
fucking
Lebowski.
way.
You could look it up on the internet right now. Put Big Lebowski, My Little Pony,
I'll have to
and
do
the
that.
images will just like go across. Yeah. So they're pulling in all these cover ponies. So that's when I was like, okay, I'm into this idea. This is cool. I'll watch this
That's
girl
pretty
show.
awesome.
Yeah.
I'll have to check it out.
Wow.
You got it?
Wow.
There it is.
Wow, they're even in a bowling alley.
It's a whole bowling alley league scene. And
Holy
they're just there.
shit.
It's money.
Hold on. Wait,
Joe, you're looking
it's
at porn. Clean your history, sir.
Hold on. Here it is. If it'll play. It'll play. Oh, of course there's no sound.
Oh,
I mean, there's sound, but there's no one talking.
right.
Holy crap.
You see him?
That
There they
yeah,
are.
I saw
Bam.
them, but that meant there's no sound. Yeah, wow. There was even Walter.
Yeah.
No, Walter, you're not wrong. You're just an asshole.
Fuck it, let's go bowling. So now I'm a huge fan of that cartoon show.
I can understand. Well, I didn't know that. I'd heard a lot about it, but I hadn't ever seen an episode.
That sounds like almost the equivalent of like when we were young and like a show like Animaniacs and all the references that it had.
Oh yeah, God, there's so many classic movies and stuff.
Yeah, those writers are dead, and now we have our writers.
yeah, exactly.
They're referring to everything we like, our pop culture. That's crazy.
Well,
how that
we
works.
kind of understood them. I mean,
I mean, and it got us into like some of that stuff.
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's good to know that that's still going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Doctor Who, it's coming up, new episode.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Can't
go
wait.
to
Soon.
WonderCon. They have the premiere the day before. Oh yeah.
WonderCon's in Anaheim, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's only here this year, from what I heard, because of
Really?
San Francisco Convention Center is being renovated.
Which one is WonderCon all about?
It's just like a smaller version of Comic-Con. It's like literally maybe 25% the size. Same situation. People show up a costume and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
What I hear with WonderCon is a lot of people say it's the warm up to San Diego.
It is.
Comic-Con.
It's to give a dog a bone kind of thing. Like,
Yeah.
all right, hang on, test your waters before you
Yeah.
go. But I'm glad it's here because it was always in San Francisco, and I was like, I don't want to go.
Oh, okay. So it was usually in San Francisco.
Yeah, it was originally.
Because I was like, it's in Anaheim, and I'm like,
But I think this is the last year they're doing it, unless Anaheim is able to keep it. But
hope
yeah,
they
I think it was only supposed to be a 2-year contract where they renovated the convention center up there. So
and I know that I heard talks that San Diego Comic Con was going to move up to L.A., but that they've been holding it there for a while.
I think they still have the contract till the 15th and
to the 15th. You mean the
2015? Sorry,
2015. It's like you mean till
only a couple
like
more days and then it's
like,
up for grabs. But yeah, no. So
yeah, because Los Angeles, dude, that'd be easy for me. I'd be like, oh
Yeah.
I'll just take the train down.
it'd be easy, but it'd blow. Like it.
Yeah.
San Diego keeps dropping tons of money into parking structures so that people could park. But people go to Comic-Con not just because it's Comic-Con, but I think they go for the city. Like, it's gorgeous. And Comic-Con is now the problem is the convention center can't hold it anymore. But what they'll do is they'll rent out tons of buildings in downtown, and that's fucking awesome to me. I think that's great. Like, it's so pretty down there. They cut off all the streets. And the Gas Lab district is really nice. You go to LA, what at Staples Center? It's all ghetto all around.
Yeah, it is.
You know
it really is.
It's just going to be shitty there. And I think a lot of people like Con a lot because of it's San Diego. It's nice. You know what I mean? It's a nice getaway. And I don't think the actors, I mean, yes, it'll be easier, but it'll, I don't know.
I don't think any actors really care.
Yeah,
one
true.
way
I don't
or
think
the
they
other.
give a fuck.
It's like,
They
it's
get
San
paid.
Diego, whatever. The whale's vagina. Oh, that's coming back. That's going to be back soon. All right. I have a story to tell. Well, Joe's kind of involved in it, but this is mainly Brandon's story. told by me. Well, it's my story about Brandon.
Okay.
So, you know your birthday, Brandon?
Yeah.
He's heard of it.
If I remember.
You know your last birthday?
Yeah.
Yeah. So myself, my girlfriend, Joe, and Joe's girlfriend went down to Brandon's birthday, which was in LA at a club, right?
Right. Das Bunker.
Yes, but didn't put that on the invitation.
They didn't?
No, just put an address. So I thought it was like at a house somewhere.
Oh.
So we're
They didn't put a website or anything?
Nope.
Wow.
So we go down there, we drive down there, and as we're driving by, I realize
I put it in the description. Did you not read the description?
you didn't.
I did. I put
don't make me pull it up.
famous pull it up.
Yeah, the
I
thing
put
is,
Das Bunker. You didn't read everything. I guarantee you.
I didn't know what Das Bunker was. I just like, oh, it's a bunker in German.
What do you
Got
think?
it.
I named a house Das Bunker myself.
Yes,
We're gonna go to
I
Das
did.
Bunker. This is my friend Jeff's house.
Yes, because you were doing a end of the world theme.
I get it.
So
All
I
right.
thought you were just like, we're gonna go with Das Bunker.
So you out of the 12 people thought that. That's all right.
Yes, yeah.
I think Joe found it just fine.
So
Well, actually, I was in a movie there.
Yeah.
And so like when we
really?
got there, I was like, hey, that looks
it's
familiar.
familiar. So
this place.
so as I'm going by, I'm like, oh shit, it's a club. Fuck. I'm like, and I'm sure it's gonna be 21 and over. How old are you, Autumn? 20.
This is your girlfriend?
Yeah, she's my
Joe's
I
girlfriend.
told
Yeah.
you. I told
Joe's
you, Joe. You
girl-
got to stop cruising the high schools, okay?
Yeah. Joe's
Graduated
girlfriend.
yet? All right.
Last I checked, 20 is not high school age.
That's true. It's barely legal. Close enough. I can't talk. My girlfriends are usually 22 and under.
So we go by and we finally find parking, and I'm like, well, Joe, what we'll do is we'll go in, we'll find Brandon, we'll tell him what's up, and then that's it. And he goes, okay. And you got to keep in mind that I just came from work, and where I work, I have a box cutter. So I'm.
Oh, that's right. I was really drunk. So this is all coming back to me as you explain. I'm like, oh yeah, you got weapons.
so as I'm going up there, my girlfriend's black. And I only bring this up because of what I'm about to say. So all the
Give her the box cutter. Let me in.
No, I knew I had it, but I kind of had forgotten. And so the bouncers go up there. The bouncers are there, and they do whatever. And then there's a girl bouncer by the metal detector. And my girlfriend goes through the metal detector, and this is when I realize that I'm carrying a box cutter, which really at that point is a weapon. Like they'll be like, weapon. Party of one. So I'm going like, fuck, am I going to set this fucking thing off? I have no idea. So I walk through the metal detector, and my girlfriend's looking at me, and so is this girl looking at me, and I put on this face of utter like, be confident, but I'm not sure. So I walk through, and I'm just like, like walking through. And my girlfriend's going like, what the fuck? Why are you making that face? And the woman's going like, what the fuck? Why are you making that face? And then my girlfriend goes like, they're going to have to check your purse, honey. And I'm like, purse? I have no purse.
Guilty.
Yeah. And then she goes like, and then the black lady security guard goes like, ha, it's funny. You can go on through. And I'm like, and my girlfriend's like, what was that face for? And I'm like, did I set off the metal detector? And she's like, what? No, what was the face for? I'm like, I'll tell you later. So we get up there, and we're going to the thing, and I just think it's a regular bar now. Didn't know there was a cover charge. So
Pretty sure that's in the description too.
so
Pretty confident.
So we pay to get in, and I didn't know it was a goth club either. So we get in.
Looking this shit up. Swear I put all
So,
this down here.
and you got to keep in mind that I've been dating her for like 3 weeks, and I told her, I'm like, yeah, stick with me, and you'll go on adventures.
She's like, I can't even get into your goddamn adventure.
So she paid. She only had to pay like half of what I pay. I swear to God. And we get in, and it's just all goth people, all in their goth get-ups, and I'm in a green shirt with like cargo pants, and she's dressed up like kind of preppy-ish little, and I'm going like, holy fuck, I now know what it feels like to be out of place completely.
Now.
Yeah, well, before I could at least
one time.
Yeah, at least I could fake it before. This was no. I'm not supposed to be here.
It does not belong.
They don't care. They just want your money. Like, shut up.
Yeah, no, they didn't give a shit.
Come on in.
No one cared. No one cared at all. And she's like, "Where's Brandon?" I'm like, "I don't know, but let's
stick to the walls.
Let's find out." So and then we find Brandon, and we leave really quickly. We literally were in there for 15 minutes.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I remember you said you couldn't. Joe couldn't come in.
Yeah,
so
Joe.
I'm like, well, let's get out of here. Fuck this place.
Yeah. So
we did our thing.
So then when we go out and we're waiting for you to come back out, I ask her, I go, so did the metal detector go off? And she goes, yeah, it went off. And I'm like, really? I'm like, why didn't they do anything? She's like, I don't know. And I'm like, I think it's because I was with you.
They're like,
she's like, what do you mean?
A girl.
Yeah, but no, she's like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, they're all black, and they saw a white boy with a black girl, and I think they just like, well, what's he gonna do?
Yeah. She'll probably cut somebody before anyone else.
Yeah,
This
like,
goes. It's fine.
If I had been alone, they would have been like, oh, whoa, what are you gonna do in there? What are you gonna do in there? But
hold up, bro.
Yeah, with the black girl, they're like, he's not gonna fucking do anything. He's got a black girl with him. So we went all the way down to Los Angeles, paid to get into a club for 15 minutes, one that I snuck weapons into that they didn't care about.
That's Das Bunker for you.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, so if you want to go and sneak weapons in and underage black girls, you can do this. Oh, no, she's not underage. That's right. Joe's, sorry.
She's 23.
I get your women confused.
Yeah, so that's that was your and then we hung out at oh man, whatever that restaurant was called. Mel's. And then we hung out at Mel's. And it was a fun time. It was an adventure. I promised her an adventure and I gave it to her. It just was hilarious that no one gave a shit that I set off the metal detector and then was making a face that obviously stated that I had something on me.
I'm reading the description. You're right. I didn't put anything about cover charge. You win. You win.
I didn't care. I thought it was
put I just put Das Bunker, assuming everyone would know what it was. But
yeah.
Obviously, that's not the place you normally hang out.
No, it's not.
I never have either. But they do a kick-ass. Was it Star Wars Day for May the 4th be with you? Like,
oh, really?
Empire this time. So.
Nice. I just thought it was hilarious. I was just like, man, this is fucking awesome. We drove how many miles to go to a club for 15 minutes? Like, this is baller shit.
Rage.
Like, yeah, this is the kind of, and I snuck weapons in. Like, if I just keep out the fact,
it's an adventure.
Yeah, I'm like,
you didn't lie.
No, I didn't lie at all. Like she didn't ask me. She's like, yeah, I have to search your purse. I was like, I don't have a purse. Yeah, you can go ahead.
It's money.
Yeah, so that was a story. And from now on, when I tell the story, I'm going to talk about it with two bitches on my side, and just like lots of gold.
It will, yeah. It'll
be like, and it won't
like 10 times better.
Yeah, and it won't be a box cutter. It'll be like 3 guns.
Yeah. I brought my gat in.
Yeah,
I don't give a fuck.
Like they didn't give a shit.
Every year, Brandon's birthday, I don't give a fuck.
They told me the cover charge was $10. I told them I didn't have anything to split the $1,000. Oh no! Yeah, so that was the good times of your birthday party.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it.
It was
my girlfriend
fun.
enjoyed it. Like I said, we'd only been dating for about 3 weeks, so it was this thing of like, yes, sometimes you're gonna have to pay to get into places for only 15 minutes with me.
This is how we roll. In and out, baby, in and out.
And then afterwards, I bought her a Mexican bacon wrapped churro, a hot dog. So
see, that's worth the travel right there.
Yeah, no, I was like,
I don't know why you need
like, so
else.
we're just standing there. And she's eating the bacon wrapped Mexican hot dog, and it's only a Mexican hot dog because it's made by someone who is Mexican. This is a la Matt.
Yeah,
someone we know.
I haven't seen too many Americans do a bacon wrap hot dog. I will say that.
That's kind of shocking.
I
know, right?
I haven't. Like everyone I've gotten has been from a Spanish, Mexican, or both.
Well, we're gonna guess that they're Mexican.
Yeah,
from Mexico. not a derogatory way. Just the fact that that's where they're from, most likely. Yeah. So it was good times though, and you were in your getup with all your getup, and Matt, who's someone we both know, ground up glass for his paint that he put on, right?
Oh, right, yeah.
Did he do that?
That's what he said.
That's what he said.
It's full of shit.
Fucking asshole.
Everything by his eyes, like, yeah, I'm so dedicated to my birthday. Okay, whatever.
I ground up glass because it was glittery.
All right.
Like it was.
So May 4th, if you guys want to come to the Empire, everyone dresses up in the same club and everything. Joe, is your girl going to be 21 by then?
Yeah, she's already
21 now.
Whee!
She was like only a week. When's your birthday?
December 21st.
Okay, so she was like
into the world.
Yeah.
Or it was supposed to be.
Right.
Yeah.
Hence, we were prepared.
I obviously was not.
Yeah.
Or I was.
You had a box cutter.
I had a box
you were
cutter.
Cut somebody.
I was ready. I was ready. And the problem is that I on a semi-regular basis will play with that box cutter unknowingly, just subconsciously play with it. So I had to, when I have it on me, and so I had to consciously make sure not to pull it out of my pocket.
Oh.
Like, don't pull it out, don't pull it out, don't pull it out. Not my penis.
That sounds like a huge issue.
Yeah.
I don't really want to travel with you ever.
Yeah.
All right. I want to talk about Veronica Mars.
Okay, let's do that.
Yes.
You were on Veronica Mars.
Deputy Stash.
Deputy Stash.
I rocked the mustache before it was cool.
Yeah. I think you played Deputy Sax, right?
Yeah.
And my favorite part, I think, was the fact that you had a full mustache or a goatee. I don't remember.
No, it's just a mustache.
It was a full mustache, like one. So you got the part, and then you actually had a mustache, and then you had a smaller mustache.
Well, I had a goatee, and you can't in California. Cops can't have goatees. You can only have mustaches. And I learned this from serving at Denny's over here at midnight.
Oh, really?
And started the cops every time, and I started asking pointers like, "We're gonna have to shave that face." I'm like, "Really?" And she's like, "Yeah." He's like, "We can only have mustaches." I'm like, "Ooh." And then I get there, and like every high school kid is my age, and I'm like, "Okay, maybe I should just keep the mustache." I didn't think I was gonna come back at all. I thought it was just gonna be the pilot episode, and that was it. And then shut up, R2. And then that was the end of it. But and then I kept coming back, and then he turned into more of a Deputy Dewey type thing. And it's funny because I auditioned, the lines that they gave me were more flirtatious, and then eventually they brought in a deputy that was attractive and ended up having a romance thing with her, and I'm like, fuck.
Wait, you're not attractive?
No, not with that mustache and the parted hair.
Oh, good point.
I'm not attractive. Yeah. No. So that was it. But I stayed on. I got to stay on for a lot longer than most of them.
To the point of where you were in the picture, not front bumper, but you had a front call thing.
Yeah, there was a couple times I got to be co-star. That was gave me lines.
But
nice.
My favorite part was the fact that I would see you and you have a mustache, and then you'd have the mustache, and then you didn't have the mustache, but you still had the mustache on the show. And I was like, "What happened?" He's like, "I fucking just shaved it." I'm like, "Then what?" And he's like, I'm like, "Fucking serious?" He's like, "Yeah, but I bought a fake one."
Yeah, I came in, I'm like, I told them what was up, and I brought a fake one just in case they still wanted me to keep it. So they weren't mad. So I came in, I'm like, so I shaved. They're like. Because the guy that played the sheriff, Lamb, he's just like, dude, just don't ever ask permission. Just show up however you want to do it. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm going to get rid of this. And then I showed up with a fake one. I'm like, just in case.
Yeah.
Sure enough, they used it. They're like, that works. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, so he never got rid of the mustache.
Never got rid of the mustache. I even called after season 2 and asked if I can get rid of it. And Rob, the producer, he's like, "Nah, man, we love it." I'm like, "All right."
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
I'm like, "All right, can you guys give me some more comedic, like dumb cop stuff?" And he's like, "I'll see what I can do." And sure enough, he did. He started to give me more lines that were more like.
Wait, now you're weirded out and don't understand why you weren't the one, the romantic.
No, I wasn't weirded out. It's just I think I screwed myself over because
you're like, how
I gave myself the damn mustache that made me look a little less cool.
Yeah.
So I was like, and I'd take it off, I'd go spike my hair, I'd go say goodbye to everybody, and like, the assistant
and then
director.
Kristen Bell would be like, "Woo, Brandon."
That would have been awesome, but she didn't. No. But no. But the assistant was just like, God, you should be one of the more attractive, like, romantic things. And I'm like, thanks. But you know what? Everything happens for a reason, and if this new movie that's coming, if I end up being on there, it might rekindle shit.
Maybe.
And
that's not what I hear.
So yeah,
that's not what. That's what I was going to get to. So Veronica Mars, I didn't know this, but the people who love that show are called Marshmallows.
Yes, Marshmallows.
Yeah, they're called Marshmallows, and there was a Kickstarter, and that Kickstarter made the most amount of money. Not the most amount of money, but rose to the amount of money the quickest.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's at now.
No, it didn't make the most.
No. There's
fastest,
ones.
right?
Yeah, it's just the fastest.
2 million in one day. Yeah. They made their quota, and it is still great. I think they're at 3 something now.
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now. But and so like part of me is going like, wow, that's really cool. Wonder, what they're gonna do, and then how did it come about that you now know that you're definitely gonna be in the movie?
I don't know that 100% yet. Things
really?
change. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, come on. He said well, again, it was on Twitter. It was on Twitter.
It was on Twitter.
And if we all know what that means.
And Rob, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't even have the role. He's the one. I went in and auditioned and read for a different line completely. I read for a firefighter that was like flirting with Veronica Mars, right? Uh-huh. And then he threw this line at me. He's like, I'll just try this one out, and we'll see what. I want you to try this line. You're a cop now, and you're doing it. And he's like, okay, cool. And then he casted me as that. And then he came to me, he saw the stash on the first day, and he's like, love the stash, man. He's like, it's kind of good that you got that role, man, because, like, we had to cut that whole firefighter scene. And he's like, nothing against the actor or anything. It just didn't go with the storyline. And he's like, this character may actually come back. And I'm like, oh, cool, right on. He walks past me. I'm like, why did I do the mustache then?
You're like, son of a bitch.
I'm like, and it would have been,
But here's the thing is, what if the mustache is what made it made you
stick?
It did.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's I'm happy with the character and how he turned out, and he's such a good guy because Rob used to be an English school teacher.
Oh, really?
Submitted a script and became big. Yeah, he's the nicest, down to earth guy, and he made a phone call whenever I did a good job. Like he'd call me like a couple days later. He's like,
nice.
Hey, by the way, like season 3 especially, he was like, we really like where your character has gone. He's like, I literally have seen you grow as an actor on the show, and I'm glad that you're on the show and you've noticed you've been getting more episodes because we like what you're doing now. So,
nice.
And I was like, that's so cool that he takes the time to give you a call and let you know. I'm at the bottom of the totem pole. You know what I mean? And he gives you.
Yeah.
So he's always been high up for me, opinion wise. So, but yeah, that's why when he twittered that, I'm like, sweet, I want in.
It wasn't you that tweeted it, right?
No,
it was someone else.
Yeah.
What about W. Sachs?
Yeah.
It wasn't one of your family or friends, was it?
Hey, I'm not going to say anything hard here. No, Adam actually is my friend. No,
oh, okay. So he's the one asked.
He did.
Okay.
Yeah,
did you tell him?
No, I didn't. I totally didn't. I already made a comment on Rob's Twitter about like if I donate my check, can I be in the movie?
Oh, nice.
And I was straightforward about it. And I'm like, dude, I would do it for free if they're doing a fan based film like $2 million for a movie is not a lot, and even $3 million on the top of the head. If you see his interview, I mean, that goes into posters and all other junk.
From what I understand, that's they talked to whoever owns Veronica Mars, the stuff. What they talked about, they said they kept going like, well, there's not enough people that want it, and they're like, yeah, there is, and he's like, no, there's not, and then they finally said, well, tell you what, if we put it on Kickstarter and get $2 million. Like, can we do it? And I think it's something. From what I understand now, the way it really is that was kind of the way of finding if there was even any interest in it. And with how quickly it made that money, it's by the way now at like 3.8 million is what it's at.
Well, what they're doing is Warner Brothers will distribute it.
Yeah,
they'll pay for the distributing and everything, from what I understand. But Rob was able to figure out like we could make this movie for $2 million. We can make a better movie with more money, but we could probably still pull this off with $2 million if you guys just. And they're just like, okay, so they just have to sit back and drop the money on distributing. They don't have to do the production and everything. So that's literally a labor of love to get that thing together, which is exactly how Serenity went down, I believe. Like it was like, they just did fan petitions, and then Joss Whedon threw in a bunch of his own money, I think, to get that thing rolling.
Serenity was awesome.
It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't watch. I'm not going to lie, I didn't watch a lot of Veronica Mars.
Neither did I.
Neither did I.
I'm going to go back and watch it all, so I know where.
I'm sure I would have liked it, and I know the stuff that I did watch, I liked it. That was before DVRs.
Well, yeah, and
people putting it on YouTube,
streaming and all that. Yeah, no, because if you miss an episode, you're effed. I mean, this is a detective show. You can't.
Exactly.
And that was the same thing with me. If I started watching it and then I'd miss a few episodes, and then my OCD kicks in, and I'm just like, I'll wait till the DVD comes out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm in the same boat you guys are, but obviously had a huge following. So
that's what I didn't even know they're called Marshmallows.
I
found that out. I found that out from the Kevin Bean show.
Yeah, since you mentioned the whole mustache thing and it maybe holding you back, I remember like Googling you when you were on the show, trying to see if I could find clips of when you were.
My porn?
Yeah. Yes, your porn. I mean, I found that too, but
that came up quick.
That was easy.
My Brandon Hillcock is the name.
Yeah. I was specifically trying to find your acting on that show, and like
it's nowhere.
Yeah,
there's no acting. There you go.
Somewhere along the lines, I found like a forum posting of like somebody. I think it was like a girl was like talking about, oh yeah, Veronica Mars, and then like how she loved the characters, and somebody on there was saying like, hey, what about that Dewey Sachs? And I was like, not me. And the girl was like, who's that? and like he posted a picture and like he was and the girl was like, oh yeah, he's okay. And then like he then posted a picture of your like IMDb picture, and she was like going, "Oh, he's actually kind of cute."
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, like I wonder. I was just thinking about like how often does that happen? If was because of that mustache, and then people see you elsewhere and they go like, "Holy fuck!"
Yeah, well, it's funny because when I got that role, I was here with you guys.
Yeah.
In college doing, and that's when we took Carrie's class, and that's when he started. Remember that assignment he gave us where he was like, "You need to pick out 2 actors that signify character actors," because he gave that whole speech. He's like, think about the Gary Oldmans and all those people that have lasted so long because they're so good that you forget that was them. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then you have the, say, Michael J. Foxes that bank on their personality. Right. And like they're the same person, but they get work because people want to watch them. Mm-hmm. Which kind of actor are you? And I was really into Johnny at the time because Pirates came out and everything. I'm like, I want to be the good-looking character actor, like, unfortunately, I don't look as attractive as Johnny does when he changes, but no matter what he fucking wears, he's still, women are like, he's still attractive. I don't know how he does it, but he does it. But drugs. If I make myself look ugly, I look fucking ugly. So, you know what I mean? So, but, like, I was in that mode, I'm like, total, like, okay, well, I need to look older than these high school students, I'm going to do this whole change my look and personality character thing. Right. And probably not the smartest move when it's your first time out, you know what I mean? Because even Johnny, when he did 21 Jump Street or Nightmare on Elm Street, very just kind of himself at a young age, Mm-hmm. And that way you can market yourself and then start getting artsy. I did it kind of backwards. But if this movie, obviously the movie's going to happen. If I get in this movie and I can actually go to an agent, because I don't have one now, and just go to him like, look, I was just in a movie, get me out here, but this time I'm going to tell them what I can do, what I know I'm good at. You know what I mean? Like being smoldering, get me to flirt with a girl, something like stuff that I know I could pull off. And then it might work good because it's one of those things where people look back like that was him. So that's what I'm hoping for. If acting takes off again, then it'll be cool. They'll look back and like, fuck, he's versatile. You know what I mean? They'll credit me that way. You know what I mean? So I was just on my first reality experience the other day. Actually,
were you really?
Yeah, it's a new show called The Perfect Score. It's a
Are you allowed to talk about this?
Yeah, I just can't tell you what happened in the show. But I can tell you it was on it. Gotcha. But it was it's basically... So
did you win?
What? No. I can't even say that. But
I know. I was just trying to fuck with you.
Well, I'm one of the contestants. No one, I'm not even one of the ones that would win. I got paid to go do it, and I was one of the 10 eligible bachelors. That it basically...
Gotcha.
So it was... And for me, it was a test because the character I went in with was thinking, because a lot of my female friends that are reading the 50 Shades of Grey stuff.
Oh God.
Yeah, right. they're like if they make that movie, like they keep talking about, you could play him, like you should do it, And I'm like, okay. So I start reading about the main character, Christian Grey, and I'm like, that would be a perfect role to break out of nowhere. If they want a nobody, if that's even possible, whatever. And then I'm like, all right, so let me do this reality show, and see if I can get this girl to choose me from across the room, like one of the girls. It's basically two friends. God,
that had to be. That's actually probably pretty difficult. I don't pick up chicks, so.
And you only get to answer like one question, like one or two questions, and you have to grasp them to want to keep you.
Wow.
But it's also, you're going against how much you're worth. Basically, 2 friends get in there, just a rundown real quick. 2 friends get on the show, best friends. They have 10 guys. We've all taken compatibility tests, and each guy is worth a certain amount of money to each girl. Okay. So there could be guys that are worth about 50 grand all the way down to 10 grand, basically 10 grand in increments, and then the last guy is only worth $1. So add insult to injury. Ugh. So basically, you're axing out men, left and right through these questions.
Do you know how much you're worth?
No.
Can you say?
Okay. No. They don't tell us that either. Okay. We have no idea. We have no idea until we get axed, and then we hit a button for each girl, and they find out how much we're worth. And sometimes your friend may be pissed because they just axed out a guy that was worth $50 million for you, or 50,000. Sorry. You know what I mean? So that's that whole thing, and we got a bonus if we got picked at the end. So there was a little incentive for us. We got like another $1,000 if we got chosen. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, this will be a good acting challenge. Like, if I think I can be good wooing a woman, let's see if I can do it in front of a whole audience and from across the room, you know what I mean, and only answering in a few segments and just making a lot of eye contact. And sure enough, it went well. I'll just say that.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
right.
So that's all I could say about it. But it was a good challenge, and I thought about it. I'm like, God, this is it. This is, you know, and if all this comes out around the same time, theoretically, that show airs this summer while they're filming Veronica Mars. So now, on top of that, trying to get the Fanboy Brandon show I've told you about on the internet, which, you know, that way people could see like different versions of me. I'm hoping that'll be a little demo reel for life.
Well, it's kind of funny. I want to talk about what I remember something. I don't think I heard Carrie say it, but I remember you saying it, Carrie, because you at the same time that you were at Kraft and taking and got the gig at Veronica Mars, you also were doing fire tech stuff. Right?
Yeah.
Or we're going to.
I know that.
Yeah, or we're going to. And I remember Carrie saying something along the lines of, you told him something along the lines of, like, you were doing it for a net.
Fallback.
For having a net. And he said something along the lines of, if you always have a net, then you're never really going to try.
You'll end up using it.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah. And that's always kind of stuck with me, you know, a little bit. Not that I'm, you know, not that like acting is my thing. I found
I'm nothing but net.
Yeah. I mean, I would love to act again, but that's not like my main focus. Main focus is directing, writing, and doing shit like this.
Right.
Which is why we're still doing it. And it's called The Last Resort for a reason. Well,
actually,
it's many reasons, but one of them is, so, I mean, it's kind of cool that you didn't, you know, that you took that other path.
No, I did. I dropped it after he gave that speech. Carrie,
Yeah.
I've been through a lot of drama teachers, and my high school drama teacher obviously was where I was born, DH, and he was great, but Carrie is definitely right up there, especially with my adult acting career, because that's when I just started getting stuff. I did Veronica Mars, and I got that Hacker movie independently, which was kick-ass at the same time, and it was just like, man, I'm on cloud nine. I'm actually doing something.
Yeah.
Movie never got finished, as independent movies never do.
Yeah.
But it was nice, and all his advice through there were at such key points in my life, so it helped me fend that way. And now it's like, you know, now I do character stuff at theme parks. Like I went off that, did the Jack Sparrow thing at Disneyland. Now I'm doing Beetlejuice at Universal Studios.
One of the coolest things I ever saw, one of the coolest pictures I ever saw, which I don't even know how you got permission to do it, was it Bring Your Daughter to Work Day?
No, it was unofficial Bring Your Daughter to Work Day.
You're Beetlejuice.
Awesome.
So one of the Beetlejuices at Universal Studios. I don't know if they have more than one.
They do. I'm actually at the bottom of the totem pole. There's about 6 of them. I get called in if like 3 of the guys can't make it in. Yeah.
And I just, like, if I was I've never been to Universal Studios.
Really?
Still to this day. I want to. I just haven't been able to make it yet. And I'm just like, man, if I was one of those people that got to see that, it would have been so fucking awesome. What he did is he went as Beetlejuice and then dressed up his daughter, who I believe is 6?
Yeah, 6 years old. Yeah.
Wow. And I only know that because my nephew's 5. It dressed her up as, oh God, what's her name?
Lydia.
Lydia
Dietz. Yeah.
And I was like, holy fucking shit.
From the cartoon show. Yeah.
I'm like, that is the fucking most badass thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, it was so fucking cool. And I'm going like, man, like, how many did you? Because you've done it before. So how many more people went up to you that knew knew who she was?
It was a really fun day. And I will say, Universal, my management team, are the coolest people. I was worried that I might get in a little bit of trouble because I didn't bring her backstage or anything. Fortunately, my girlfriend, Sonia, she fixed her up for me. Like we all had to get up at the crack of dawn, like 4:30 in the morning. And I'm like, okay, we got to start. We're going to drive to work, and I have to be there early because it takes me about 2 hours to put all that makeup on and everything. So while I went and did that, Sonia in the car did the makeup and the hair for Ireland. That's my daughter's name. Mm-hmm. And we made the poncho the night before. I just went and got some red material, and then we used a marker and like drew the webbing and everything like that. Now, when I got the role, I really wanted Ireland to know what character I was, but I couldn't show her the movie really. Yeah. So I went online and found,
the
on
cartoon?
Torrent. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
All the cartoon, the whole series, and put it on my iPad. It's still to this day, she watches that cartoon more than anything.
Nice.
And she really wanted to be Lydia, so I was like, okay, so we put it together really quick, and I only get to do Beetlejuice, it seems like, every 3 months. So I was just like, let's do it. Now's the time. Let's do it. So, so she got to come into the park. I got them my 2 free passes. I got them both in, and she came in and did a whole set with me. We just walked around, and she, in the cartoon series, she does this chant. What is it? Though I know I should be wary, I want to call upon something scary, ghostly haunting I turn loose, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. She knows the whole thing.
Wow.
And she does the whole casting with her fingers. I didn't even tell her how to pose. I was like, come with me. You want to pose with me with people? And she would just do the pose on her own. She made me so proud that
so
day.
Awesome.
And we were messing around the House of Horrors area. I put her on top of a wall, and we were doing pictures. And all of a sudden, this guy in a suit comes up, and it's like one of the execs from Universal. And I'm like, uh-oh. He comes up, and he comes up, and I think he's going to yell at her for being up on the thing. And he's like, has his iPad, and he's like, can I take a picture?
Are you fucking
Yeah,
really?
no, it's so cool. And he's
awesome.
like, that's Lydia from the cartoon show, right? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, oh yeah, I gotta get this. Like,
yeah, it just seems to me like something. I mean, oh, man. I mean, that, by the way, would have never fucking happened at Disney.
no.
Never would have happened.
I mean, I would have done it anyway, but yeah,
Oh,
they
yeah,
would have.
yeah.
I would
Oh,
have
yeah.
gotten reamed for it. But my managers, they were just like, that's the cutest thing ever. Like they just did that.
Because here's the thing: is like
Which, by the way, you could see all these photos on Fanboy Brandon Instagram.
Oh, really? Oh, well,
Yeah,
well, we're gonna get to plugs at the
They're all
end
there. All right.
for all for your stuff. But yeah, I remember seeing the pictures and just going like, man, like anyone that day who got a picture with that, like that's something special that's most like just not gonna happen again.
Yeah.
You know, like, and if it does, it's gonna be this thing that, yeah, I thought it was really cool.
Yeah.
And glad to hear that you didn't, get butt raped by your.
No, it was,
employers.
yeah, no, it was a good day, and she's like, after that whole 2 hours of having makeup on for the first time, she was done. She was like, I want it off, and I brought all this stuff to clean her up. So she cleaned her up, and they waited until I got off work, and then we hung out after that. So it was a good time.
Nice. Do you, in between the sets, do you leave on the makeup? You have to, right?
Yeah, no, you got to. There's no way to take all that off. Yeah,
Jesus.
I have to go take a shower. That Beetlejuice stuff is the most intense makeup job I've ever had to do. So,
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it's everywhere. You got the wig, and you've got to glue it down. It's the screen kind, and you got to cover it with the white and everything. And still to this day, it's really hard to perfect it so you don't see the seam lines, But they've got new wigs coming out. I haven't seen mine yet, but we had to get whole head casting for them.
Really?
By some of the guys from Face Off, actually. So they got my number, and I told them, like, I'd love to be a model for any of your guys' stuff.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So we'll see how that goes. But I got to see one of the wigs, and they're, like, hand punching the hair. It looks so good.
Wow.
So I can't wait to try one of those on. Those are going to be really cool.
Wow. Well, I hope that he writes you into Veronica Mars.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
Because that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
As from a fan standpoint, I had to look. I'm just looking at it. I'm like, I would, it's one of those things where, like, you may not. I'm not the first character that pops in your head, obviously, probably the very last. But at the same time, I still killed Richard Grieco at the end of the last episodes.
God damn you for giving shit away!
Oh,
Spoilers!
God damn it, Brandon!
That's my claim to fame, dude. Like, I killed
bastard.
Richard Grieco with a bullet. Yeah. So it's like, and I don't know. As a viewer, I would expect to at least have me pop in for one line, just so you get that. Oh, that's that guy.
Yeah, even if it's
they brought everybody back. The storyline, from what I know, is, I don't know if I said this already, but it's her 10-year reunion is the movie.
Oh, okay.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, so everybody's aged, and now everyone is where they're at. Somebody even Twitter's like, shouldn't Sax be sheriff by now? Da-da-da. I'm like, killing Richard Grieco would change a man.
yeah.
The stash gets more deep.
Yeah. Well, do you think your character would have a stash?
That's the question. That's what I even thought about. I'm like,
are you going to give yourself a scar just for like?
Well, it depends on if he writes it, because it'd be funny if like they make a comment like, "Where's the stash?" I'm like, I got too big. Like, like it's too mainstream. I didn't want to.
Everyone had stashes.
Everyone has stashes now.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be funny. All right. That's pretty much it. So, Brandon, thank you for coming in.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. Where can people? Do I have no? No, I don't have anything like that. Oh, whatever. Why don't you tell everyone where they can find your stuff and things and bobs?
Well, like, I have a like page, which nobody likes yet because the show hasn't started, but my Fanboy Brandon show should be airing in the next couple weeks here, which is basically for the past 3 years I've been filming my life, like where I go, what I do, like going to Austria as Jack Sparrow.
Wait, where?
Austria.
You went to Austria?
Twice.
Really?
I'm big in Europe.
God damn it.
Yeah, I filmed that experience. The first episode that's coming up will be the Star Wars Celebration that just happened over in Florida. I put together 25th anniversary of Back to the Future. It was like a whole week thing where we all hoverboarded and stuff like that. So that'll be an episode. Episode 2, I think, is me building the Iron Man suit, because I think it's crunch time. We're going to try and get it done before the movie.
Oh, okay. Nice.
So, kind of tag in with the new movie coming out and everything like that. So it's just these Comic-Con fanboy type stuff that, it's basically my life. So all my like pages, Instagram and Twitter all fanboy Brandon. So,
Fanboy Brandon.
Yeah, you just got to punch that in on any of those. And
anytime anyone ever talks about you, I go, like, yeah, I know him. but I do
people talk about me.
Yeah, well, every once in a while, or I'll be like, yeah, I know this guy, and like, but I always kind of do it as like this thing of like where I just like throw it away, but you know,
I
don't, where it's just like, yeah, I know him, you know, yeah, I could call him right now.
Yeah,
but
I'm not going to. His birthday
to.
in a shady club.
Yeah, you know, because I feel like if you're too enthusiastic, if someone ever talks about someone you actually know, like it's almost as if like you've been waiting for that moment. And so for me, I'm like, whatever, I know him.
You almost sound like
been on my show, whatever.
Old guest.
Oh God, yeah, exactly, yeah. Yeah, and I want to make sure everyone knows that they can hire you, although it's probably expensive.
For a strip club.
For a strip club. Do you tell people that? I don't even know.
No, I usually do. I mean, like my bread and butter, what pays the bills is my charactermasters.com.
Charactermasters.com.
Yeah, where I do corporate events, but mostly kids' parties on the weekends where I'm like Spider-Man, Captain Jack.
That's the latest one,
Star
Spider-Man.
Wars.
You've been getting all buff for it and shit.
Yeah. Well, if you're gonna wear tights, you know. But you know, it was a twofer. You know what I mean? It was like, well, I was planning on going back into the acting industry anyway, and I'm like, you know what? I think it's time that I'm 32 now, so I need to
You're fucking 32. That's right. You're older than me.
It's a midlife crisis. Yeah. I bought a DeLorean. It doesn't work. And I'm like, I got to work out so I could save my, so I can keep up with these older guys. But you got people like Harrison Ford that didn't really start until 34. So I'm just like, you know what I mean? I'm just like, there's hope.
There's hope. Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
You know what?
Still hope.
Every time I see that kind of stuff, I just go like, just keep doing the show. Just keep doing the show. Like keep
moving
just
forward.
keep going. Keep doing stuff. Like
you know what? And now I have like I'm happy with my life. You know these characters and stuff like that. And I'm planning on doing theme parties. Like for right now, the last couple of years for Comic-Con, I've been doing the Pirates of the Caribbean theme, and I'm going to fan off into doing Star Wars for Comic-Con, but also a Tim Burton Halloween extravaganza, which will be the Tim Burton Experiment, and then Moulin Rouge Valentine's Day Ball.
Nice.
These are ideas that'll happen every 3 months. So between that, the birthday parties, I'll be pretty set for a while.
Nice.
So if things don't work out actor-wise, it's not the end of the world like it was when I was 21, 22, where it's like I have to do something.
Well, you gave it up.
I did. I mean, you know what I mean?
Come on, let's not say like you gave it up.
I did.
Yeah.
The run was over. I had a kid. That changed everything. I'm just like, I got to get something that's a little bit more. Still be happy, but do something that's a little bit more, down to earth and that's.
But
realistic.
now that she's gotten older, have you realized that you just like, you know what, I can do both?
No. This, ever since she started going to school and everything like that, it's just, it's for her too. If I get somewhere,
Yeah.
So you know. What I mean?
And she's really great too.
Yeah, she's amazing.
She's nice.
She's cool. She's a lot of hang out.
Cool. No, I mean, every time I've been around her, she's always been really nice and polite and cool.
Yeah,
for the lack of a better word.
Yeah, she's a lover. She's got a big heart.
Yeah,
it's really important.
Yeah, and weirder than that is like she's like she's only seen me like a few times over the course of her life. It's like 3 or 4 times over the course of her life, and every time she just is kind of like, yeah, that's some guy. She's like, whatever.
She's a lot of people being around. She's a socialite.
Yeah, which is cool. I mean, like my nephew's cool around me, but like when other people come around, unless he knows him, he's nowhere near like that. Which is why like every time I'm going like, wait, what? This kid's not like freaking out even a little bit, or just like hiding a little. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because like when you come over, when kids are that age, you come over and they get very, very shy until about like 5 minutes later when they realize you're not leaving.
Right.
And then they go like,
give up.
Well, I guess I got to deal with this.
Or they'll do it right. They'll warm up right when you're about to leave. Like, no, wait.
Yeah. No, you need to play with me. And you're like, no, I really got to go.
I can't tell you how many times I've gone to birthdays and done like Jack or something, and like even the birthday boy themselves is just like they won't warm up until like near the end. You know what I mean?
God.
But I figured out activities that usually warm them up. I let the kids kind of hit me on the ass with the sword at some point during the choreography. You know what I mean? And that brings everybody in a lot quicker. So you're like, oh yeah, human pinata.
Yeah.
No matter how nervous you are, you're like, that's gonna be fun.
I wanna talk real quick. Matt as Bane.
Oh right, yeah. I had to cast with what I had,
I know. I like it. I find it hilarious that that he goes to some kids. Like kids like wanting Bane.
That was the first time you saw that photo that he was face painting. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it was really cool. It actually worked out great because he did.
Hold on. Here's the whole point. Is there's this kid and Bane is face painting him. So all I can hear is like, "You were finished."
Yeah, I
feel like it.
Yeah. When I finish this tree star on your face, you have my permission to go.
Yeah,
He was making comments like that too. And you know what? It's funny because Matt's gone with me to do Star Wars stuff as like Darth Vader, and man, he sucks at Star Wars face painting. I'll say that right now. But
does he really?
Yeah. He's gotten so much better lately because I kept schooling him. I'm like, dude, you need to like commit. He's really good at Darth Maul faces and stuff. But when it came to the Batman stuff, he did all the kids like villains, and they looked amazing. Like he did Bane mask, he did Two-Face, he did Joker, and to me, I'm just like, man, that actually is pretty cool. Like to have villains, and it was the first time we'd done a Bane and Batman. It was a friend of mine that wanted a book, and he's like, no, he wants Bane. I'm like, okay.
Really? His kid wants Bane?
Yeah,
How old was his kid?
Well, you got to keep in mind, actually, believe it or not, Batman isn't very, he isn't very popular. At least the not Dark Knight one with birthday parties.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think it's just because he's an intimidating version.
Gotcha.
But I put on the site, give me some coffee. Yeah. So, but I put on the site that, like he's much more friendly. You know what I mean?
He's a friendlier version.
He's a friendlier.
He doesn't growl as much.
Yeah, he doesn't. But the and that was the first time we got Bane on top of it. I'm like, wow, all right. But no, it was fun. I was stoked with the kids' face paintings. Just seeing a bunch of like villains jump around in a jumpy house was hilarious.
Yeah, which sounds kind of fucking awesome.
You're like,
right.
They should have made an asylum jumpy house like Arkham Asylum. God, that'd be such a cool photo. Money.
Oh man, if I ever get lots of money, that'll happen.
Ireland loves pirates. I can't fear her. I can't get her away from Pirates of the Caribbean. It's like her Star Wars. Yeah, she has Elizabeth Swan costume. We got to do a pirate play last summer together. She was a Elizabeth Swan that drank for the Fountain Youth and she shrunk.
Oh.
So her and I had a whole argument together. It was very fun.
See, the great thing about you being her father is the fact that you give her a backstory.
Yeah,
like everyone else would just be like, she's her, and you'd be like, no. Fountain Youth shrunk her.
Yeah.
Made her young again.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because when I posted those pictures at Universal on Instagram, like my friends who were like Marilyn Monroe there and Lucille Ball, they were both like, we were just talking about this. She's like, you're doing it really right just because by the time she's like 18, she's going to be completely over all this crap. She's not going to want princess crap. She's like, dude, I'm done. And she's going to want to like be an accountant. Like, you know what I mean? She get all this fantasy shit out now, and now she's just going to be like wanting to be like straightforward. She's like, no, I'm done with the pretending.
Like, look, I did this as a kid.
I'm over it. Like, you know what I mean? So now she's going to be a responsible adult. Like, instead of want to like get jobs in theme parks.
Yeah. Or she'll go the complete opposite.
Exactly.
It's going to be one of the two. There's going to be no middle.
Yeah. I don't know.
No middle. She'd be like, what do you do? And he's like, well, I'm an accountant. What do you do at night? Well, I play.
Yeah. Character stuff. It's fun.
It's cool. I do it for myself. All right. Again, Brandon, thank you for coming in.
Yeah, welcome.
And of course, they can find you as Fanboy Brandon.
Yeah, on almost every platform.
Everything.
Yeah.
And of course, they can check out if they want to book you as a character.
Charactermasters.com. If you want to see that Bane photo of him face painting, that's on Instagram too.
Yeah.
So check that out.
Yeah. And I have no idea how much it costs, but I'm sure since people keep paying you and flying you places, I'm sure it's worth it.
Well, you got to look at everything that I do for the party. That really sells it. Because, yes, it's not the cheapest thing, but I pack a lot of crap into 1 hour, so that way I feel okay about doing it. I mean, at first, it's like you're paying for a very expensive costume to show up with an actor who will perform the character correctly, you know what I mean, and is good with kids.
Oh, that's
Three
the thing.
major elements, you know what I mean, first of all.
Yeah.
And then, and you look at all these other character companies, and they'll, like, do the same thing. Like, oh, Star Wars is going to do a treasure hunt. Makes no fucking sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, mine, we're, like, building lightsabers, you know what I mean? They're fighting Darth Vader, you know, it makes mine all are different for the most part.
It's good bang for the buck.
Yeah.
Bang
exactly.
for the buck, money for the buck, whatever.
Yeah.
Damn it. I mean, I've said it to you before, and I'll say it to you again. This time, I guess, on record. Personally, best Captain Jack Sparrow I've ever seen. Other
Thanks,
than
sir.
Potentially the original.
Right. Who's that again?
Donnie Jepp.
He's done 4 movies in 3-month increments. So what's 3 times 4, Joe?
Yeah.
12. So he's only spent a year doing Jack. I've been doing it for 10 years.
Yeah.
It feels like almost non-fucking stop. So I wouldn't mind going toe-to-toe with him, like having a conversation.
Yeah, no. I
actually wouldn't fear it.
Like because you fully embody it. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Whenever and I haven't seen you do it in quite a while, but I mean, I saw you do it.
Yeah.
And usually people don't get worse over time. So
I
can only assume.
It's become second nature, honestly.
Yeah. That I've seen you slip into it. I know I've seen that.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Never goes away.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. All right. And Joe, where can people find you if they want to?
Porn.
They can
Porn.
They can find me in the porn section. Under. Never mind.
under transvestite. Wow, Joe never knew.
Sweet.
I've known you how long?
you know, there's just a little bit of surprises every day.
Could you?
Could I what?
Could you? Would you?
Could I?
No, I'm talking to Brandon. Could you? Would you?
What?
Frankfurter?
I'd love to, but I was thinking Joe is Frankfurter. Actually, I think that would be the
you're right.
star
No,
performance.
if he could do that, oh my God, that'd be sick.
I used to do Rocky Horror Picture Show stuff back in San Diego. So
and
I love
was that
show.
before you came to Crafton?
It was, yeah. It was fun. It was like every Friday night because I wasn't 21 yet, so we went and did that instead.
instead of whatever.
Yeah.
All right. So Joe, where can they find you?
They can find me on the internet at Twitter. Twitter, I have Joe the Man Rossi. Every now and then, I post a new tweet.
A tweet.
They can find me on Facebook, but let me know that you saw me on the show or something like that. Otherwise, I'll think you're just a robot.
Do you get a coupon?
Yeah. It's like, just look up Joseph Rossi.
Joseph Rossi. I got to get you on Instagram, too, and on our twits.
Yeah, and you can find me at Chris Goldie on Twitter. I'm on Facebook, but I most likely won't add you. If
very welcoming, Chris.
I know, right?
You guys just get like pages. You don't have to worry about it.
I really do.
Yeah,
you know what? I do need to get a like page.
Yeah, I'll do a like page.
Yeah, I'll do a like page.
People,
and then you
who shouldn't have like pages have like pages. You guys should definitely have like pages.
Exactly. Because someone's downloading the show, we just don't know who the fuck it is.
They're going to like it. You have those 5 people, they're going to like it. And no, it's funny. I've got all these actor friends that have these like pages. I'm like, really? What do you need a like page for? I'm like, they're like, it's for my acting career. And I'm just like, okay.
But what
I'm
have
like,
you
I
done?
had the Fanboy Brandon one. I've had it up for a long time, but I haven't told anybody about it because I'm like, not until I get an episode.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, and I've been on TV and I still don't have a like page. I'm like, no, until you have like some reason.
Yeah.
But there's,
it's just I just don't want to add random people that it's like great. I'm glad you love the show, listen to the show or whatever. But I'm like I'm not gonna. I'm like my Facebook is for my friends and family. Like like
I don't want everyone seeing my nudes.
I don't need everyone seeing that shit. Although I think if you make a like page, it will show it. But I don't want to see their feed. You know what I mean? That's the problem.
Right.
Man, I sound horrible. I'm going to shut up now.
I hate you people.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
Jesus
say it, Chris.
Christ.
Who fucking listens? I hate you.
Yeah. To the 3 people that listen. No, it actually last month was downloaded like 200 plus times.
Nice.
I just don't know who the fuck they are.
Right? Well, let me know when it airs. I'll twit it.
Yeah. and then of course you can email us at cjlastresort@gmail.com, right, Joe?
Yep, CJ Last Resort.
cjlastresort@gmail.com in case you want to tell us anything or something, or I don't know. But we're done.
We're
done.